everybody, welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today we're doing this Matchbox Toyota Supra Turbo. Oh yeah, this casting was sitting around in my little junk box, whatever you want to call it. Picked up at a thrift store. Honestly, I knew it had potential. So why don't we head on down to the range and let's get started. Now, when I found this at the thrift store, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this could be a promising casting. I seen it had a dented wing on the back. Okay, no big deal. I also thought at the point until I took it apart and actually got to examine it a little more, I honestly thought it had a crack in the windscreen. So I was kind of upset. I was like, well, I ain't going to be able to fix that. So that's why I kind of just left it on the back burner for a while, and then I finally got a good look at it, and it turns out it was only a windshield wiper. So I was like, you know what? That made it even much more better to actually be able to do a custom with this, because I'm not a big JDM person. JDM, sorry. I don't really care too much for that vehicle style. But I do have to admit, some cars look really cool with them. I'm doing this build for my buddy Phil Tudor. If I butchered your last name, I'm sorry, Phil. I did him a Mad Max Nomad build on my last video. You guys need to check that if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet. Feel free to check that out, because I got a 2-part video coming up in the near future that you are not going to want to miss. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I know I'm going to start it within the next week or so, because I got some ideas in my head and I want to put them to use. And like I told you before, you see I had a dent in this thing. I just had to get rid of it, so I took my Dremel tool, and I was looking for weeks for my Dremel tool. Could not find it anywhere, and it turned out my couch swallowed it. Yeah, it was inside my couch. Don't know how it got there, but I found it, was able to put it back together, get it useful, and I was really happy with that. So all in all, everything worked out. And yeah, this is one of my shorter videos because I was just kind of knocking something out. And since Phil was putting on that JDM build off or whatever he's wanting to do with it, I don't know what he's wanting to do, races or whatever, but when that came up, it actually came up halfway through me building this Supra. So I was like, he said he actually asked me if I was going to enter the Supra into the JDM build. And I was like, oh crap, I totally forgot about that. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I'm like, I'll enter this one into it. I did a basic paint job on it. You'll see that towards the end of the video. But, I went pretty simple with it. I didn't do a lot of custom work to it. But, yeah, I just didn't want to put a lot of, custom into it. I could have, but I didn't. I wanted to knock it out real quick because, just kind of have, a short, little, quick, easy video. And, get it going. Kind of rile it, kind of hype everybody up for my 2-part build coming up. And yeah, it's going to be a 2-parter because there's going to be a lot of customization going on in that video. And trust me, like I said, you're not going to want to miss it. And no, I am not going to give away any hints, because I still have the 4 Horsemen build coming up at the end of the month. I got to get that one knocked out. Yeah, it's only a week into the month, so I got time. And you guys know me, it don't take me long to do a build. This build literally took me probably about 8 hours, give or take, total from start to finish. And like I said, I really like this build. You guys seen the little decal I had at the beginning of the movie with the carbon fiber deal. So I decided, I didn't know how I was going to cut it. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do the tape method, mark out the hood, put the tape on the decal, cut it out, and it worked. So honestly, I was really kind of skeptic about using this technique because I've seen people do it before, with windscreens and stuff like that, making windshields. So I was like, you know what, I'll try it out, see how it does, and I'm glad I did because it worked out perfect. Because I've never done the whole carbon fiber look on one of my castings. I normally just paint the hood and call it a day. But I had this decals, these water slide decals, for like the longest time. I don't remember how long I've had it, but I've really been kind of skeptical about using it until I started this build, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it just to see how it goes. While it's stripped and everything already, I might as well go ahead and just mark out the lines, get it cut out on a piece of tape, and do it that way. And I'd do it again if I could. When I have another chance, I am going to do this again. Try to do the whole carbon fiber hood look. Who knows? I might even go a little bit more in a depth and do some more carbon fiber areas, like cut out some really cool designs, or take the carbon fiber, put it on a fin or something. I don't know yet. It's still kind of early to tell. But just trying to get everything lined up and everything to where it needs to be. I'm talking about paint, tires, making sure everything goes well. That was the thing. Making sure the cuts were accurate, and oh my God, I'm just really happy with the results of the carbon fiber decal, because it's been the first time in a while that I've used micro saw and micro set, and no, not in that order, because I normally don't use the micro saw because I usually have issues with it. But this time, honestly, I think luck was on my side with it, because it went on perfectly. It did everything it was supposed to do, and it looked good. And, along with the final results on the turntable, there's a couple little glamour shot photos along with it. I just wanted to spruce it up a little bit. And, I hope you guys stay tuned to my videos. Keep liking, subscribing, sharing, whatever you got to do. Let's get everybody's names out there. There's a lot more customizers that do fantastic work. You got Manny's Custom Garage. You got Philly T. You got Tony's Diecast Customs. Chris's Junkyard Designs. Maple Leaf Customs. Diecast Graveyard. I could go on and on. There are so many good builders out there, whether they're collectors or whether they're just builders and collectors like myself. I buy extras so I can customize stuff and still have a collection going. And I keep my custom ones that I've done off to the side on a little other note. But feel free, throw those words out there, throw those channels out there to other people, get them up in subscribers, just help them along, because the one thing I love about this diecast community is everybody is helping everybody in one way or another. Like Andrew over at Maple Leaf Customs, in every single one of his videos, he does a community shout out. When people do their mail calls, they throw the shout outs and show people what they get from other players. Getting builds, getting customs from other builders, other collectors and stuff, I know, like that right there is like Christmas for everyone. Just seeing these brand new customs fresh out of a package. My buddy Manny from Manny's Custom Garage just received his hauler and his Gaslands car in the mail. So stay tuned, keep an eye out for his video, because he says he's going to do something on YouTube with it. So just take a look at that and see what came out of it. I'm not really going to be talking a lot about the video because you guys can see what I'm doing. That's why I'm just kind of randomly talking like I usually do. And Philly T's got that, like I said, that JDM build he's doing, and feel free to contact him. Ask him what all has to be done to be a part of that. I'm all for doing a few build offs with any group, anybody out there wants to do a build off with me or anything. I'm always looking for projects to do. That's why I threw out a while back about my weekly challenges. Just throw something out there. If you want to see me build something, let me know. I've been getting a lot of requests for some Mad Max, Gaslands, Wasteland builds. And, that's why I've been kind of doing a lot of those, because that's what people's been wanting to see my creativity for my Gaslands builds. And, I still have plenty of stuff to do some Gaslands builds. I'm kind of running out of some things, but I can work around it. And this, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the car here in a minute. This is called a Wicked Golden Yellow. And it was a new color I just picked up the other day, and I thought I'd give it a shot just to see what it looked like. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I really like the look of this orange, or yellow, I think is what it is. It's like a yellowish orange almost. But I actually I wanted to try it out. I did a white base coat first before I went and put the paint on there. And, usually depends on the base coat how your color kind of shines out through. And honestly, I wish it was a pearl color, because it would have looked magnificent. In fact, I'm going to look for some pearl yellows if I can. I did a lot of taping because I wanted it to... I was going for a particular idea, particular scheme, theme for it. I wanted it to look good. I didn't want a lot of decals on here. I did put 3 extras decals other than the carbon fiber decal for the hood. So I wanted to, I didn't want to just bombard it with decals. What was the point of that? I just wanted a simple paint design. I wanted just some simple decals on it, nothing big, some nice wheels, wide body kit, and a JDM style wing from Benchwork Toys. And along with the wide body JDM fenders, I also got from Benchworks Toys. He's got some great products over there, so check out his website. Got some Samed wheels on order. I use a lot of them. The wheels that I got, ended up using for this car, were ones I picked up at Hobby Lobby. They were in a set of 4 different style wheels, so I ended up using those. And the second paint color I went with was a crimson red, a Wicked Crimson Red. And I really like this red. I've used it many times before on other builds and other cars, and I just wanted to do something nice with this car. And that was one color I thought no matter what, it would look good, especially with that yellow I used. So after I painted what parts I wanted red after the first taping, I masked it off, and mostly masked around where the side skirts was at, the JDM fenders were at, and I ended up painting those a pearl black that I kind of mixed up. It was kind of, I don't know, it was a mixture of all kinds of different colors. So why don't we go ahead and check out what we started off with. This pretty rough shape, missing a lot of paint, Toyota Supra Turbo. I knew it had potential. I wanted to see what I could do with it. I knew I wanted to put a wing on it and all that stuff. Just to see what it would look like. But without further ado, let's check out the final results.